I travel the world, tracking down rare, deadly animals. I'm a herpetologist, animal expert, and adrenaline junkie. When cutting-edge research labs need biological samples from wild animals, they call me Donald Schultz.
Jeez, look at that!
My mission in Jordan is to seek out rare desert animals.
Dude, right over there. Devon, it's a lizard.
And collect samples that could help preserve endangered species.
Look at that. That's an insane amount of venom.
And advance medical research that one day could save lives.
It has a narrow little hood. Oh.
I'll face unfamiliar threats.
Look at those teeth.
In one of the world's harshest environments. Surrounded by beauty, but far from medical support.
Welcome to Jordan.
In the cradle of civilization in the Middle East, Jordan features a lush coastline and forests, but more famously, vast, brutal deserts and the Dead Sea. A surprising variety of wildlife has found ways to adapt to the harsh desert conditions, but not here, at the lowest elevation on Earth, almost 1,400 feet below sea level.
This is my first time to the Middle East, and you couldn't have a better introduction than the Dead Sea. I've heard so much about it, but this is the first time I've been close to it, and this is like something out of a Superman comic. Everything's white and salty, the water's black. It's just absolutely insane. And it's weird, the water has a weird viscous feeling, like if you had to mix a whole bag of sugar into a cup of water, it feels like that. It's just very, very slimy.
With twice the salinity of the Great Salt Lake, the Dead Sea supports no life form bigger than bacteria.
So even when live animals do come to the Dead Sea, they don't last very long. Especially with arthropods, they need a high amount of moisture, and basically moving around in the salt will suck all of the moisture out of them, and they basically die as soon as they land.
A primary goal of my mission is to track down one of the planet's most endangered monitor lizards.
My goal is to find one of the animals that I've been looking for a long time, but never been in the right country. It's called Hyenas griseus, or the Iranian Monitor. It's really endangered, highly protected, and in my opinion, these are the holy grail of monitors.
Scientists only recently determined that monitors have venom, so labs are eager to test samples from a variety of species to see what medical applications they might have for humans. Almost no venom research has been done on the species I'm looking for. The Iranian Monitor is highly elusive, so finding one won't be easy.
The sand is just, it's almost like running in water. It's so hard. Some tracks around here. These just all look like insects. Nothing too interesting. Oh, dude, look at that. It's a little Stenodactylus, wait. Oh, look at that. It's stunning. See how fast it is. What they'll do is, because it's so hot here, watch this. They'll basically run with all four legs up. Where'd it go? Right under you.
This gecko is a perfect example of an animal that has evolved to survive this extreme environment. And being a desert-dwelling animal and adapting and developing for this kind of habitat, they're not big lizards, they're not fat lizards, they're basically streamlined and skinny so they can get by on a minimum of food. When they hunt, they have a very interesting body posture in that they walk with their tail sort of arched back. And one of the schools of thought is they're trying to emulate what a scorpion looks like. This guy's night vision is 350 times better than a human's. That lets him see and flee predators coming across the open desert, but it's not foolproof. They have so many babies and they're so well adapted to the environment that a big part of the horned viper dies. And what the horned viper will do will be go in the sand like this, basically have its nose sticking out like that, the gecko will run past and the snake will grab it. I don't need any samples from this little guy, so I'm just gonna let him go. Cheers, little Stenodactylus. I'll move on to the northern part of Jordan, where I'll continue looking for an Iranian Monitor. But first, I'll hunt for another endangered desert native. We're right on the Syrian border at the ruins of a 5,000-year-old town called Jawa, and I'm looking for a long misunderstood and hated animal, the striped hyena. Striped hyenas have adapted to live in this harsh environment by being able to break open bones and extract the nutrition from the inside, and basically they have these huge home ranges and walk during the day or night looking for potential meals. I'm really interested in getting a sample from a hyena because they can eat carrion and decaying animals with no ill effect. The hyena's extraordinary digestive and immune systems allow them to eat decayed tissue that would kill other animals. My goal is to tranquilize one and collect a blood sample so scientists can research whether those keys could be used to help humans survive exposure to deadly bacteria.
This is a sure sign of hyenas all around. It's a big bone and basically cracks in half.
Hyenas can roam for days without food or water, but when they find prey, they can eat up to a third of their body weight.
So if you look through here, you can see paw prints. The big thing you notice about this is giant ears. They can use them like radar receivers. The problem we all have is the noise that we make. So hopefully we can just get it heading down towards there.
Hyenas are one of the top 10 animal killers of humans. Their teeth shred flesh and snap bones. And because of how they live, they often carry diseases that are deadly to humans. This guy can run 5 times faster than I can, and he's well aware that I'm in the area.
I can't see him. I've lost him.
I think he's toying with me, trying to tire me out.
He definitely didn't come out this way. So let's see. He's right over there. I can just see the pit of his ear. Come look here. If you look over there, his ear's just popping out right there. He's actually coming right for us. Staying back.
I need to get a shot in quickly before he disappears again or attacks.
So he's right through there. This is a perfect distance too. The only problem is if I shoot at most the white runners, they can run far faster than human beings and have so much stamina that they can outrun antelope just to hire them out. So I want to make sure the shot is absolutely perfect.
I've never worked with a striped hyena before, and there's no way to predict how any animal will react when darted.
It's just picked up.
He could flee, or he could come straight at me.
Ready, everyone? Oh, I got him. Perfect. The dart fell out, which is fine because the darts are charged with drugs and they'll pop out. We don't want to make a lot of noise because if he runs, it's still conscious enough to get far away. But it's only been like 6 minutes since the drugs went in, so we've made sure he's decently sedated. Ooh. Because we use a lower dosage and they're super, super safe, these guys can actually startle from a sedated state and start moving again. And you can see its ear is up. So let's just be super, super quiet.
I estimated the sedative on the low side, so I won't harm him. That means I have to be careful approaching him. He could still be semi-conscious. Even drowsy, this guy could lash out and bite me in seconds.
Okay, cool, let's go. All right, so if you look here, you can see
I'm at the Syrian border in Jordan, where I've tranquilized a striped hyena to collect a blood sample.
okay, cool, let's go. All right, jeez. You can see he's still pretty decently sedated. We just want to keep noise to an absolute minimum, just because any noise on these drugs will make these animals startle. They can actually have a catecholamine release, which will overpower the drugs. And even though these look superficially like dogs, they're absolutely not dogs. They're more closely related to meerkats and mongoose than dogs. And if you look at his face, he's actually got a bunch of scarring around his face and nose. And that's fairly common in the wild. These animals lead very, very hard lives. The big thing with hyenas is that they're known to carry rabies asymptomatically, which obviously is a big killer in human beings. So I just want to make sure that I'm not picking up any problems with this guy. The striped hyenas have such strong mandibular muscles, they can easily crack bones. It's well known that these guys will actually go to graveyards, dig up human beings and eat them. So getting bitten by this guy is just a really, really scary thought. There's a couple things I really want to do with it. One of the things is have a look at these wounds on its head.
Hyenas have to work to survive Mother Nature and man. They've been hunted to near extinction in many countries, including Jordan.
In African mythology and European mythology and in the Middle East, hyenas are hated and loathed, and because of that they've been hunted to near extinction here in Jordan. But they play a very, very important part in the ecosystem. Look at those teeth. That's crazy. What they do, if you look here, they actually have a huge separation between their carnassials and their molars. And the reason is to having the breaking bone power of the back teeth, and that's not dulling the front teeth, which shear the flesh. So basically, these crush bones, these cut flesh, and there's a separation between the two, so they're not using their sharp knives to break bones, they're not using their bone crushing to try and cut flesh. And if you see their gait, they have a very bear-like gait, and the reason for that is quite simple. Their front legs are longer than their back legs. And if you look, that gives them that perception that they don't have a backbone, but they obviously do have a backbone that's attached to their tail.
Hyena blood has long been used in traditional healing. Researchers now think its unique antibodies could be used to help prevent humans from contracting certain foodborne diseases like E. coli.
So I want to get some blood, just so we can look at exactly how powerful the white blood cells are in the hyena and how it's able to fight off the rabies disease, which is 99% fatal in human beings. So what I'm going to do is just pop it into the vessel over here. The thinking is hyenas can withstand snake bites, very, very powerful venoms, and have a high immunity. So they seem to be able to be very, very resilient. And that ties into the fact that they're so closely related to mongoose and meerkats, which have a phenomenal resistance to snake venom. With these, we can look at how this hyena is able to be so successful in these extreme conditions. So looking at this is vitally important to understand exactly where these animals fit and how we could benefit from it, and also how to conserve these absolutely gorgeous little monkeys. So I have those samples. Put the samples on ice. So for the reversal, I'm going to go for the saphenous vein, which is the one on the back leg, because hopefully this kid's still pretty asleep.
I've pushed my luck far enough. This guy's starting to wake up.